Hey guys, I am finally back with another Batmobile. Sorry I've been away for so long. If you follow my Instagram page, then you have some idea of where I've been, but you also know that I have continued to add to my Batmobile collection. And this time we're going to be taking a look at the latest addition to my collection. This is the brand new Kaiyodo figure complex release of the 1989 Batmobile. Now, most of us are familiar with the Kaiyodo Revoltech line. Their action figures are typically recognized for having specific articulation, a lot of accessories, and Kaiyodo takes the same approach with their line of Batmobiles. I've really been looking forward to their release of the '89 Batmobile, so let's jump right in and start by taking a look at the packaging. It has a nice big window box, and you can tell that they've done a lot on the inside to package and protect the vehicle inside. It has the company info over here at the bottom. And it has the awesome Batman movie symbol in the middle there. Now, it says Batmobile 1989 here at the bottom. But if you look at the back of the box, it shows you all the accessories that this model comes with. Half of the features that are listed at the bottom, and then the image of the accessories right there. We saw the Batmobile use some of these in the '89 Batman movie, but the other half was used in Batman Returns. So I think it's cool that they gave us accessories featured with the Batmobile in both of the Tim Burton Batman films. So let me go ahead and take everything out of package, and we will take a closer look at what's inside. Okay, aside from the instructions, here is basically everything that comes inside the box. I didn't realize it, but the backdrop inside the packaging can actually be saved for display purposes. It's just a thin piece of cardboard, but it's a nice bonus. And this Batmobile has quite a few display options because of the great accessories that they've given us. Aside from the actual Batmobile, we have the two fins, or the wings that come out of the sides, the two machine guns, the two grappling hooks, and these are two little canisters that connect to the end of the grappling hook or the cable. And then we have this cylinder, which, as we know, goes underneath the Batmobile. And there's already another piece connected to the bottom of the Batmobile, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. And they've also given us this tool here for opening some parts of the Batmobile and connecting some of the accessories. So let's go ahead and set all of the accessories aside and take a look at the actual Batmobile. The first thing that I noticed when I picked it up was how light this model is. This Batmobile is a little over 6.5 inches or 17 centimeters long. It's not a very big model, and it definitely doesn't have the weight of a Jada or a Hot Wheels Batmobile. It has a great sculpt, but the entire body is made from a basic plastic. And the quality of the plastic surprised me, mainly because of the price of this Batmobile. It's mostly plastic, but the tires are made from a hard rubber. The front wheels have that Revoltech articulation. And the back wheels tend to roll with a bit more ease. All of the bat symbols on the wheels have a nice paint application. The sculpting detail on the back end is very accurate. And the tail lights are a clear plastic, so the working lights can shine through those. There are only a few paint apps, and they left out some of them, like those caps on the top. What I think of as the gas tank, those should be that silver gunmetal color. And I'm never really sure what the color of the turbine in the front should really be, but this one has black plastic like the rest of the body. Of course, there's some silver paint on the sides there. The detail on the underbelly is great. It's one of the best I've seen. And you can see there's that silver disc for the platform. We'll take a closer look at that with the other accessories. And there's a switch here at the front to activate the lights. And the lights on the front and the back are fairly bright. Let me show you the red tail lights on the back here. It's kind of hard to see in this light. Let me see if I can dim the lights for you so you get a better idea of what it looks like. It's pretty cool, you know. There aren't too many accurate models of the '89 Batmobile with working lights. Now, there's some really nice detail on the inside of the cabin, but this brings us to the first issue that I have with this model. In order to open the canopy, you got to use this tool that they gave us to sort of pry it open. And unfortunately, the canopy, or the top, is not permanently connected to the body. So, in order to open it, you kind of have to hook it open on the side there. And I think you can slide the canopy forward and not pull it all the way off, but again, it's not permanently attached to the body of the car. I think you're supposed to be able to open the canopy without removing it, but on mine, I don't know if you can see this, but the seats are crooked and leaning to the passenger side. I think that's what makes it problematic to remove the canopy. And I think because of the electronics and the wiring on the inside of the car, along with the way that they did some of the other accessories, the way that you attach them, they couldn't use that great sliding canopy design that we find on like the bigger Hot Wheels or the Jada release of this '89 Batmobile. So, taking a look at the inside of the cabin, there really is some fantastic detail in there. You know, the steering wheel is very accurate. Then all of the gauges and the components that are on the dashboard, that TV monitor that's on the right side there. And there's even some paint detail up above and in between the chairs. It's very cool. And while the canopy is tricky to open or remove, you can just line up the tabs underneath the frame. And I think originally that's as far as the canopy is meant to open. But once you get it lined up, you should be able to just slide it back and close it up. It's nice to know that there is that great detail on the inside of the cabin, but when my Batmobile is on display, the canopy will probably just stay closed. Now, I do think that the selling point for this Batmobile is the fact that they included all these great display accessories. However, the way that they executed a couple of them, I think, is somewhat questionable. So the first one we'll take a look at is the grappling hook. Now, this shoots out of the side of the Batmobile. Of course, we saw this in the first Batman movie. Batman used it when he had to make that super sharp turn when he was being chased in the Batmobile by the Joker goons. And to attach the cable, they've given us this separate open side canister that you connect to the Batmobile, and then the grapple attaches to the open canister. I'm not sure why they didn't just have that end piece already attached to the cable so that it's one complete piece. It seems a little unnecessary to me. So now what you have to do is remove the little closed side canister from the Batmobile. And on mine, it was initially very hard to remove. So what I ended up doing was just grabbing a pair of needle nose pliers. And then you just gently pull it out like that. And you can set that aside and try not to lose it. And then the grappling hook, or the end of the cable, can go into that open slot and attach like so. And it looks pretty good. And the wire is bendable, so you can position it in a number of cool ways and come up with some creative display options. And the cable separates easily from the open canister. And I think I'm just going to leave that one attached so I'm not removing and replacing that piece every time I want to use the grappling hook. The next accessory is the cylinder that goes underneath the Batmobile. And we saw Batman use this in Batman Returns, to spin the Batmobile around in the opposite direction. And he was able to blast his turbo engines and give that fire-breathing devil a taste of his own medicine. It's a pretty cool scene. So what you do is take the additional platform that's underneath the Batmobile here, and you can try to use the tool that they gave you. But to me, It's kind of tricky and pain in the butt to try to remove with the tool. So it's a little bit easier for me to just grab on and pull it off like that. And then that flat piece attaches to the bottom of the cylinder. So you got the platform there, and then the platform attaches back to the bottom of the Batmobile. And it's set up like that. I think it looks pretty cool. It's one of my favorite accessories that comes with this Batmobile. It's sturdy and very secure to the bottom of the Batmobile, so you could just sort of spin it around on your own. Then to remove it, you just pop it back off. You remove the cylinder from the platform like that. And you replace the platform on the bottom of the Batmobile. Now, the next two accessories are the fins and the machine guns. And we, of course, saw the machine guns in that classic scene when the Batmobile infiltrates Ace Chemicals. And we see the fins, again, at the beginning of Batman Returns when Batman knocks over some of the circus clowns with the Batmobile. Now, this brings us to something else that I'm not particularly crazy about with this model, and it's the fact that you have to remove the front end in order to attach these two accessories. So in order to remove the front part, you have to take off the front turbine and remove the wheels. So let's pull that front part off. And the wheels aren't necessarily easy to remove. And I always feel like I'm maybe going to break the model whenever I try to take those off. For the front end, you can try to use that tool to pry it open, but if you just push it a little bit once the turbine and the wheels are off, it should just pop off of the front like that. And that's also the compartment where you actually have the batteries right there. And it's something else that I don't like. You know, you have these wires that are exposed, and you're having to attach the accessories by moving around or exposing the wires and having to do that over and over again when you take the hood off. So underneath the hood, you have a couple of tabs. There are two here, and I do like to use the tool to push this part forward. Same thing here. And that releases the top part where the machine guns come out. You can see it's silver underneath, and they've included some nice detail there. And there are the two holes where you can attach the machine guns. And for the fins, I don't know if you can see this, but there are these small little tabs on the side. And again, it's easier for me just to use my guitar nails to pull those little tabs off. And once you do that, it exposes these slots where you can then slide the fin through, and it attaches like that, just like the small pieces did. Do the same on the other side. And again, the sculpt for all of the accessories, they're very accurate, just like the rest of the Batmobile. The fins have those slotted lines along the side. It looks good. And then the machine guns just attach like so. And the other one here. have to say that I definitely prefer the way that Hot Wheels and Jada did it, where it's already attached to the hood. The machine guns are already attached to the hood, and you just flip them over to expose them. And now you have to basically reassemble the Batmobile. Just like the Canopy, it's kind of tricky to line up. And once you get it lined up, you just apply a little bit of force, and it attaches just like that. You have to connect the front turbine again. Make sure it's secure. Then reattach both of the wheels. And again, just me doing all of this, you can kind of get a sense for why I don't particularly like the fact that you have to disassemble the car. It looks cool. You know, how often do we get multiple display features for a model like this? Especially for the '89 Batmobile, which has all of these possible features. So, comparison time. I just wanted to do a couple of quick side-by-side comparisons. The first one I wanted to show you is another one by Revoltech. This is the camouflage or prototype tumbler from The Dark Knight Rises. I'm not sure how many there are, but I know Kaiyodo has made a few Batmobiles now. I have both versions of the tumbler, and I know that they have a version of the Bat out there somewhere too, and I still need to get a hold of that. Both the '89 and the tumbler basically have the same construction. You know, they're both made with that same type of plastic. They both have rubber wheels. And you know, this tumbler actually has some very interesting Revoltech articulation abilities with the wheels. Now, the other side-by-side comparison that I wanted to do is with the Jada 1/24 scale release of the '89 Batmobile. Now, this is where you really see a difference in quality. Both of these Batmobiles have excellent sculpts, but the Jada is a very solid model compared to the Kaiyodo. First of all, it's all die-cast metal instead of plastic, and the construction is very strong. The Kaiyodo almost feels like an inexpensive toy next to it. To be honest, I do think the Kaiyodo is a very nice release of the '89 Batmobile, but because of the price, I was expecting a little bit more. Now, the Jada doesn't have lights or all of the accessories, but it does have some cool features. I mentioned that the main body is all die-cast metal, and it does have these rotating machine guns. It has a trunk that opens in the back, and the main canopy is attached and it just slides open. And this is just like the 1/18 scale Hot Wheels release. And you know, you get all of this for around $20. The Kaiyodo currently runs anywhere between $80 and $90, and for me, that's the primary downside to this Batmobile. It's a great model, and I could understand paying maybe $30 or $40 for it because it has all of those cool added extras, but it is a simple plastic model. As it is, with shipping, you're going to be paying close to $100 for this Batmobile. In closing, this actually is a really good release from Kaiyodo. Aside from the price, I think it's a great collectible. You know, the sculpt is very true and faithful to the source material. It has working lights on the front and the back. The wheels rotate and have some articulation, and all of the accessories provide a nice range of display possibilities for your collection. I'll let you decide if it's worth the price tag for your collection. If you're anything like me, then this Batmobile is at the top of your favorites list. The 1989 or the Tim Burton, the Michael Keaton, Anton Furst Batmobile is such a classic, and this release by Kaiyodo has a combination of accessories that we usually don't find in a model of this size. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As always, I also hope that you take the time to subscribe and maybe share some of your thoughts about this or any of my other Batmobile videos. So, we've been looking at the Kaiyodo Movie Complex Revoltech release of the 1989 Batmobile. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.